And conventional wisdom, which is usually not very good, says you ought to put this off as long as you can. Wait till 70. Put it off till 70.
Right, because it's going to grow 8% per year.
Well, that's nice, but in a lot of cases, many cases, actually almost all the cases, we don't see that occurring.
Right, because people need this piece of their income in order to build the rest of their income in retirement.
Or it makes sense for them to take it early.
That's also possible.
Or it makes sense for them to take it at their normal retirement age. Let's talk a little about Jim. Jim just came in to visit with us yesterday. So this is very fresh in our minds, and that's why we really wanted to talk about it today. Jim is at normal retirement age.
He is 66 years old.
He's 66 years old. He's eligible to take his benefits, and he came in to visit with us to do his game plan. And his question really became, should I take it now or should I wait?
That's right.
So tell us a little more about his situation.
So Jim did tell us that he still wants to work about 3 or 4 more years, but not much more than that.
Right.
So we know that he's still going to be gainfully employed at least for the next year or so. And when we did his game plan, we found that he needs about $5,000 a month to make his life work.
Yes, and of that $5,000, part of that is a mortgage payment, right? That's
right, $1,200 a month of a mortgage payment. We've already subtracted out the taxes and insurance because we know you pay that forever. So $1,200 is the actual mortgage payment. He's got about $80,000 balance left. So if we know he needs about $5,000 a month and we gross that up for taxes, he needs about $6,000 a month.
He does, and he wants to be a rock star bad.
That's right. With his Social Security.
I mean, they all do, right?
Well, of course. Well, who wants to be a groupie?
That's right.
So he's going to have a $2,900 in Social Security. He was also lucky enough to have about $1,000 a month in pension once he elects those pension options.
Right.
So subtracting out those two fixed income sources, we know that he's short about $2,100 a month.
Right.
Over the course of the year, that's $25,000.
So in other words, then, for us to create that income stream prudently through using withdrawals, assuming a 4% rate, he would need about $630,000 at the time he retires to do that.
And Jim, right now, he started saving a little later in life, which most people do.
Right.
He's got $300,000 in his 401k.
And he wants to retire in 4 years.
So that means he needs to double his money in 3 years.
No, Nanette. Right? I mean,
which character was Nanette on Star Trek?
I don't know, but let's just go with no, Nanette.
Okay. I'm just checking. I want to keep the listeners on track here.
Okay. So it's interesting. So we're sort of looking at each other, and he
is looking unhappy.
He's looking very unhappy, and he'd already, as you can imagine, he's worked this through his mind many times.
Yes.
I mean, folks usually do this before they come to visit with us, and so, Aaron looked at me and said, "Dad, there's another option."
That's right, because remember, Jim is full retirement age.
That's right, and he could take his Social Security benefit.
That's right.
And he wouldn't be subject to any type of reductions in benefits because once you reach your normal retirement age, you may take your benefit without, it's taxable as income. 85% of it is up to that much, but
there's no take back and there's no earnings limitations. So Jim was kind of skeptical when I mentioned maybe we should take Social Security because, like you said, Dad, conventional wisdom says you got to wait as long as you possibly can to take your Social Security. That's the goal.
Okay, so I just came up with it. It's like the Kobayashi Maru, right? The no-win scenario. What if I do? What if I don't? So of course, Aaron.
I'm like Kirk, so I have to.
Came up with how do we beat the no-win scenario, especially in Star Trek 2, right?
That's right.
We reprogrammed the test.
That's what we did. So first I wanted to show Jim what it would look like without his mortgage.
Good idea.
So we said, okay, Jim, we know you need $6,000 a month gross to make your life work right now. What if we took the mortgage payment out? That's $1,200 a month. So that means you really only need $4,800 a month.
Right.
Your Social Security and pension are going to be $3,900 a month. So now you only need $900 without the mortgage.
$900
a month, which is $11,000 a year.
So in other words, he would only need about $270,000 of capital, throwing off 4% of interest, and he has $300.
So we made a rock star.
That's right. Well, the light bulb went on.
That's right.
See, what Jim didn't realize, as many folks don't, is that we like to say it's easier to pay down debt than it is to create capital. Because in his case, if we look at this number, that $1,200 per month, which was $14,400 per year, the capital that we needed, using the same 4% assumption, was over $300,000. That was all he had. So in theory, all of his money was being used to go towards making that mortgage payment. If we could eliminate that payment.
And the way that we eliminate that payment is by Jim continuing to work, living off of his earnings. That's what he's doing now. Taking the entire Social Security benefit, the $2,900 a month, and putting it towards the mortgage. He's got $80,000 balance in the mortgage. Over the next 3 years, he'll completely eliminate that.
Yes, he will. And he will become a rock star.
Jim. He made himself a rock star.
Life is very good. We love that. And it looks like we do have Judy on the line. Judy has a question. Judy, you have a question about Roths, and by the way, good morning.